chosen one. There is a quiet, almost unsettling shift that occurs the moment you step into a room after surviving a season designed to break you. You might not fully notice it yourself because you were too busy quietly piecing your spirit back together in the dark, but the world around you feels it instantly. True spiritual transformation cannot be hidden under a veil of modesty, nor can it be muted by silence. Energy does not lie, and the frequency you now carry is loud enough to shatter every illusion in your physical environment. When a soul travels through the fire of deep trials and returns with divine clarity, the very atmosphere in their presence physically changes. People look at you, and deep within their subconscious, they experience a sudden, unexplainable disruption they cannot put into words. They see a version of you that no longer depends on earthly validation, human approval, or the need to explain your path. They are sensing the weight of a spirit that has died to its old self and been reborn into absolute spiritual alignment. Welcome home to Wisdom Path, a sacred sanctuary dedicated to revealing the deeper truths of your spiritual awakening. Take a slow, grounding breath today, chosen one, as we uncover exactly what happens behind the scenes when the world witnesses your divine energy and transformation. It always begins with an unscripted silence. The moment you step into a room, enter a meeting, or walk into a gathering of people who used to know you, an unexpected shift occurs. The background noise softens, casual chatter hits a brief wall, and a sudden drop in conversational momentum fills the room. Chosen one, this is not an accident of timing, nor is it a trick of your imagination. Most people exist within a shared, familiar frequency, a comfortable rhythm built on social performance, endless distraction, and superficial small talk. But your transformation has completely dismantled your desire to perform for human applause, creating a distinct vibration that alters the physical space around you. You now carry a heavy, quiet stillness, a presence forged in intense solitude, private grief, and battles fought entirely in the dark. When people look at you now, their subconscious immediately registers that you are no longer operating on standard earthly survival instincts. They feel the weight of someone who has confronted their deepest fears, stripped away their false identities, and emerged with something completely indestructible. That stillness acts as a profound comfort to those who quietly long for truth, but to those living behind psychological masks, your simple presence feels like an unexpected disruption to their illusions. Notice how eyes naturally gravitate toward you when you enter a room, even when you make no effort to be seen. You are not putting on a show, wearing flashy clothes, or raising your voice to command attention. Yet, there is an invisible gravity anchoring you to the floor that draws people's gaze without their conscious consent. It is the spiritual weight of authenticity. In a world starved for genuine depth, a soul that is rooted in its true essence becomes an undeniable focal point, whether the room realizes it consciously or not. This subtle pause happens because your presence forces people out of their autopilot state. Most daily interactions are scripted routines where people trade pleasantries without ever truly engaging their spirit. But when you walk in, carrying the frequency of someone who has overcome severe spiritual warfare, that script immediately dissolves. People instinctively feel that standard social games and empty flattery will not work on you, forcing them to pause and recalibrate how they approach you. If you look closely at those who knew you before your transformation, you will spot a flicker of confusion in their eyes. They are trying to locate the old version of you, the version that was eager to please, easy to influence, or desperate for acceptance. When they realize that person no longer exists, a quiet shock settles in. You have become unfamiliar to their expectations, and that unfamiliarity creates a heavy, respectful distance that they do not know how to bridge. Your energy now moves before you do, clearing or disturbing the room long before you open your mouth to speak. Light is not just an abstract spiritual idea. It is a dense, high-frequency energy that naturally displaces heavy, low-vibrational noise. When you enter an environment steeped in gossip, envy, or unspoken tension, your aura acts like a quiet wave of clarity. The superficial energy simply cannot maintain its momentum in the presence of someone who has been refined by divine truth. You might notice people suddenly adjusting their posture, clearing their throats, or losing their train of thought when you look directly at them. This is not because you are trying to intimidate anyone. It is because your focus is sharp and unburdened by hidden motives. When a mind is free of pretense, its gaze carries an intensity that pierces right through standard social defenses, leaving others feeling subtly seen down to their core. Understand that this atmospheric pause is the undeniable proof of the invisible work that took place during your season of isolation. You sacrificed the comfort of fitting in so that you could align with your higher calling. The quiet that fills a room when you walk in is heaven's subtle confirmation that your spirit has graduated into a new level of authority, one that no longer requires permission to exist. This quiet authority naturally creates a subconscious mirror effect in almost everyone you encounter. The high-frequency energy radiating from your transformed state does not actively seek to judge or condemn anyone, yet it inherently exposes everything that remains hidden in your surroundings. When someone living in avoidance, unresolved trauma, or pretense looks into your eyes, your light naturally illuminates the very dark corners they have spent years trying to cover up. This is precisely why you might experience sudden, unprovoked hostility or strange reactions from people in your daily life. Someone who was perfectly polite a moment ago might suddenly become unusually defensive, passive-aggressive, or try to downplay your achievements without any logical trigger. Chosen one, understand that their reaction has almost nothing to do with your words or actions. It is a direct spiritual response to the purity of your aura, which acts like an unvarnished mirror, reflecting their own unhealed wounds back to them. People who rely on masks to navigate the world feel deeply uncomfortable around someone who has discarded theirs. When they stand near you, your absolute authenticity makes their performance feel exhausting and foolish. They sense that you can see right through the facade, and that perceived vulnerability triggers their ego's defense mechanisms. Rather than facing their own internal disharmony, it is much easier for them to project their discomfort onto you and label your peace as arrogance. This mirroring effect also explains why deceitful individuals or those with toxic intentions feel an intense urge to keep their distance from you. Manipulation requires a low vibrational, confused environment to thrive, but your transformed presence brings immediate spiritual clarity. The moment a person with hidden motives enters your field, their spirit recognizes that your discernment is active. They feel an intuitive warning that their games will fail, driving them to either retreat or attempt to test your boundaries in frustration. On the other hand, you will also notice people who suddenly feel compelled to over-explain themselves or confess unexpected truths in your presence. Small talk often slips into deep, unprompted self-reflection when people talk to you. Because your energy carries no desperate need to judge or manipulate, people feel their ego's grip loosen. Without realizing why, they feel an internal pressure to be honest, simply because dishonesty feels entirely out of place in your atmosphere. It is crucial that you do not internalize the sudden coldness or awkward shifts in behavior from old friends or colleagues. When you raise your spiritual frequency through trial and healing, you automatically become a line of demarcation. Those who are committed to their own growth will feel inspired by your light, while those who are committed to their comfort zones will feel agitated by it. You are simply witnessing spiritual physics in action. The beauty of this mirror effect is that it saves you from wasting time on disingenuous connections. You no longer have to spend months trying to figure out who is truly for you and who is operating in envy. Your presence acts as an automatic filter. The wrong energies will naturally disqualify themselves, grow uncomfortable, and drift away, leaving your path clear for connections that match the depth of your transformed soul. Chosen one, wear this spiritual mirror with grace and unyielding composure. You were not called to dim your light just so others can sleep comfortably in their illusions. Allow your energy to expose what it must, purify what it touches, and remain anchored in the truth of who you have become through God's divine refining process. While your light may cause internal friction for those running from their own shadows, it acts as an irresistible sanctuary for souls searching for genuine peace. The modern world is profoundly exhausted, constantly consumed by anxiety, relentless comparison, and noisy demands. When people encounter your energy in this season, they feel a rare, grounding peace that no amount of material wealth can buy and no social status can replicate. Your spirit was refined through severe trials, bestowing upon you an aura that feels like a safe, quiet harbor in the middle of a raging storm. You did not acquire this unshakable peace from reading books or listening to passive theories. You earned it by walking directly through the fire of your own dark nights and letting it burn away your chaos. Because your calm was bought with real endurance, it carries a physical weight that immediately calms the hyperactive nervous systems of those around you. This is why strangers, co-workers, or distant acquaintances will frequently find themselves opening up to you out of nowhere. Within minutes of a casual conversation, they may suddenly spill their deepest insecurities, family struggles, or secret heartbreaks. They will often pause, look confused, and say, "I have no idea why I'm telling you all this. I never open up like this." Chosen one, they are responding to the divine shield of safety surrounding your soul. Your peace is magnetic because it carries no hidden agendas. In a world where most human interactions are transactional, your presence demands nothing from people. You do not need them to validate you, heal you, or feed your ego. That absolute lack of needy energy creates a rare space of emotional freedom where people can finally drop their heavy armor and simply breathe without fear of being exploited. Furthermore, this unshakable peace changes how you handle conflict and unexpected chaos. Where you once might have reacted with anger, anxiety, or an urgent need to defend yourself, you now respond with a silence that carries more power than 1,000 words. When toxic situations arise, your refusal to be pulled into emotional chaos completely neutralizes the attack. People realize that your peace is not fragile. It is an impenetrable fortress built on divine trust. When you walk into high-stress environments, watch how the collective anxiety of the space slowly begins to de-escalate. Because your internal foundation is grounded in spiritual truth, your aura acts as a stabilizing anchor for the entire room. You become the steady point of clarity that others unconsciously look to when everything else feels like it is spinning out of control. This profound peace also completely transforms your personal relationship dynamics. You no longer chase connections, beg for attention, or force conversations with those who pull away. You have realized that anything meant for you will flow toward your peace, not require you to destroy your mental health to keep it. This quiet detachment creates a powerful gravity, drawing high-value, soul-aligned opportunities and genuine people effortlessly into your life. Never underestimate the immense value of the stillness you now carry. Your peace is your greatest testimony, your strongest protection, and your most potent weapon against spiritual warfare. You suffered through the storm so that you could become the light that guides others out of theirs. Walk boldly in this divine gift, chosen one, knowing that your calm is changing the world around you in ways you may never fully see. Deep within every human spirit lies a quiet, dormant memory of original divine truth, and your transformation acts as a sudden, undeniable alarm clock for that memory. When people look at you now, they are not just seeing someone who survived a difficult season. Their soul registers an ancient blueprint of endurance that transcends standard human logic. They witness how you carried immense betrayals without allowing your heart to harden into bitterness, and how you endured devastating losses without relinquishing your capacity for grace. This creates a strange, nostalgic ache in the spirits of those who observe you, a subconscious reminder of who humanity was meant to be before the world corrupted its purity and peace. Chosen one, you might notice older souls, leaders, or even complete strangers treating you with a sudden, unexplainable level of reverence. They may not know your full backstory or the private tears you cried in the dark, but their spirit instinctively recognizes your rank in the unseen realm. Spiritual authority cannot be manufactured or faked. It is forged in secret warfare, and people feel that invisible crown upon your head. They sense that your presence is backed by higher forces, making them treat you with a quiet caution and respect that they cannot fully articulate. This ancient recognition is also why your path feels so distinctly different from the crowd surrounding you. People can tell that you were never designed to chase fleeting trends, earthly status, or cheap validation. You carry the unmistakable energy of a builder, a generational curse breaker, and a spiritual pioneer who was sent to realign what was broken in your lineage. When others witness your growth, they realize that your life operates on a divine timeline, completely detached from the artificial pressures and panics of the modern world. As people observe your transformation, they realize that your survival was never just about your personal comfort. You have become a living blueprint of hope for everyone watching from afar. Your journey proves to those who are quietly suffering in secret that it is entirely possible to walk through the darkest nights of the soul and emerge with higher wisdom, deeper love, and unbroken dignity. You radiate a light that reassures struggling souls that the fire does not come to destroy them, but to refine everything precious within them. Even individuals who once plotted against you or rooted for your downfall begin to feel a quiet, eerie sense of spiritual defeat. Deep down, they realize that every weapon formed against you failed, not because of your earthly cleverness or physical strength, but because divine protection anchors your very existence. They recognize that contending with your energy means contending with the sovereign power that orchestrates your steps, leaving them with no choice but to step back and watch your elevation from a distance. You carry an ancient frequency that speaks directly to the hidden destiny inside of others. When people spend time in your environment, they often feel an internal urge to rethink their own life choices, drop their toxic habits, and strive for something higher. Without you ever delivering a sermon or pointing a judgmental finger, your daily character becomes a silent sermon that challenges them to remember their own divine origin and rise above their lower instincts. Understand that this deep recognition is precisely why heaven kept you isolated for so long. You had to be removed from standard societal conditioning so that your soul could remember its ancient assignment without being corrupted by earthly noise. Now, as you step out in your fully transformed frequency, your presence serves as an unshakable testament that divine purpose will always triumph over temporary worldly trials. You are standing in the fulfillment of a promise that was written into your spirit long before you arrived on this earth. Your light is no longer a small, fragile flame struggling to stay lit in the wind. It has become an established beacon of divine truth. As you move through the world, remember that your authority comes from your alignment with the divine, not from human approval. Walk with the quiet composure of someone who knows who they are, why they are here, and who walks beside them every single step of the way. Understanding these profound spiritual dynamics is essential so that you no longer make the tragic mistake of shrinking yourself to keep others comfortable. You were never meant to squeeze back into the small, suffocating boxes you outgrew during your season of intense isolation and private refining. The version of you that existed before the trial was merely a draft. The person standing here today is the refined masterwork. To apologize for your light is to insult the divine hand that pulled you out of the ashes and built you into a fortress of peace. Chosen one, step into your transformation without a single shred of hesitation, guilt, or second guessing. You do not owe anyone an explanation for why you speak less, why your boundary lines are drawn in permanent ink, or why your priorities have radically shifted away from superficial pursuits. Your evolution is not a betrayal of your past or an act of arrogance. It is the sacred fulfillment of your higher assignment. those who truly belong in your future will honor your growth, while those who belonged only to your past will naturally drift away. Accept that some people will inevitably prefer the older, more easily manipulated version of you, and that is entirely okay. Their nostalgia for your past vulnerability only proves how far you have traveled into your authentic power. Do not waste your precious, refined energy trying to convince skeptics of your growth or arguing with those who are determined to misunderstand you. Let your unyielding peace, your elevated character, and your quiet fruit do all the speaking on your behalf. As you walk boldly in your divine blueprint, you will notice that your intuition operates with razor-sharp, effortless precision. You will instantly discern between what is genuine and what is a subtle distraction, allowing you to navigate complex situations with profound clarity. Trust these spiritual instincts completely, for they are the direct guidance system calibrated within your spirit through every trial you survived. When something feels off in your spirit, move away without needing physical proof. Your discernment is your highest protection. Remember that your energy is now a sacred, non-renewable resource that deserves to be guarded with uncompromised reverence. You are no longer obligated to attend every emotional battle you are invited to, nor are you required to fix people who are deeply committed to their own destruction. Your primary responsibility in this season is to keep your internal sanctuary clean, clear, and unbothered by external chaos, ensuring that your light remains untainted by low vibrational noise. The awkward silences in public spaces, the sudden distance from former companions, and the deep, silent respect from soul-aligned individuals are all divine signposts. They confirm that your energy is functioning exactly as intended in the spiritual realm. You are clearing out low vibrational attachments so that high-frequency blessings, divine opportunities, and authentic connections can freely take root and flourish in your life. Stand tall in your truth, knowing that the spiritual authority you hold was bought with private endurance that the world will never fully comprehend. Every tear you wiped away in secret, every silent prayer whispered in despair, and every moment you chose grace over vengeance was building the immense radiance you embody today. You did not just survive the refining fire, you conquered it, and you emerged holding the keys to your own freedom. As you continue your journey on this earth, keep your heart humbly anchored in gratitude, while wearing your spiritual armor with unshakable confidence. Your presence is your message, your peace is your testimony, and your light is an unstoppable beacon that will continue to shatter darkness wherever your feet take you. Walk forward fearlessly, chosen one, into the glorious, victorious future that has already been prepared for you. Every battle you fought in silence was secretly preparing you for the spiritual authority you carry today. Your transformation is complete, and your light is now an unstoppable force in a world searching for truth. Thank you for walking this sacred path of awareness with us here on Wisdom Path. If these words resonated deep within your soul, take a moment to subscribe and join our sanctuary of conscious spirits. To anchor this high frequency into your life today, drop 777 in the comments below, letting this sacred number seal your divine energy and protection. Keep walking boldly in your light, chosen one. You are guided, protected, and unconditionally supported on every single step of this glorious journey.